Today is October 25th, 2001. We're interviewing Mr. Walter Snowdon Smith III at his home at 278 Saratoga Boulevard.
279.
279, you're absolutely right, Saratoga Springs. Mr. Smith, where were you born, sir?
Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse? You grew up in Syracuse?
Mm-hmm.
You went to school in Syracuse?
Yeah, I went to grammar school in Pebble Hill.
Mm-hmm.
You won't know, that's just a little country day school. Then I went to Westminster School in Simsbury, Connecticut, prep school, and then Syracuse University, and got 2 degrees eventually. One in business, from the business school,
Mm-hmm.
and the other LLB.
You graduated from high school when? Approximately.
19.
Before the war?
Oh yeah.
36.
Oh, okay.
Was it 36?
Was it?
You,
I graduated from high school in 1935.
okay. And then you went directly into college?
Yeah.
And you graduated from college in 39, 40?
39.
1939? What'd you do right out of college?
I went to work for Niagara Mahone. Well, the first thing I did was worked for a contractor that was doing some work at Crucible Steel in Syracuse.
Okay.
And just pick and shovel.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there I went to, I worked for Niagara Mohawk.
Okay.
That's a Syracuse headquarters.
Oh, okay.
And, poles, towers, and fixtures, doing counting work.
Now, why'd you decide to join the Army?
Because I've gotten sick of what things going on. I always wanted to learn to fly, and that was the best way in those days of learning how to fly.
Did they guarantee you being a pilot?
They didn't guarantee anything. They gave me a physical, and I passed that. And so, anyway.
Did they have college requirement at that point for getting into becoming an
No.
aviator? No.
No, but it made a difference.
Okay.
I had a degree by that time.
Where did you take your basic?
The basic was was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama,
Oh.
and that was just primary. And then they had from there you went to Randolph Field,
Mm-hmm.
and from there to Kelly.
What did you think of Tuscaloosa?
Tuscaloosa was. It's all right. University of Alabama is there.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Different than upstate New
typical
York?
little southern town.
How did they treat the Yankees?
Fine. No problem.
Okay. So what, you took your basic training in Tuscaloosa. Your first, where'd you take your flight training?
Started at Tuscaloosa.
What were you flying at that point?
PT 11s.
What was that like?
It was a biplane.
Mm-hmm.
An old job.
How did it fly?
Flew all right.
Okay.
Well, it didn't. It flew anyway because I'm here.
How were the instructors?
They were good.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you want to become a fighter pilot, or didn't make any difference
No.
to you?
Well, I wanted to get a good training, and hopefully fly engine aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I was on that course.
Okay. Okay. Now, you finished your flight training And where did you go next?
It was flight training in 1940, and then I was given an assignment with the 88th Reconnaissance Squadron, Heavy, H. And they had a funny setup in those days. Actually, the 88th Reconnaissance Squadron was at that time stationed in Salt Lake City. They just moved from Snowdon Field, California. And keep prompting me.
Okay. Now, the 88th Reconnaissance Squadron Heavy, was it?
Yeah.
What did the...
Well, I wanted to talk to you about that. When I said we were attached to the 7th, that means that we weren't part of them. We were part of the what was then called the GHQ Air Force, and that was headquartered in Washington, D.C. So each heavy reconnaissance squadron had a similar setup.
Okay. Now, what was the mission of a heavy reconnaissance squadron?
Reconnaissance did, in addition to bombing missions, they also did photography and reconnaissance.
Okay. What type of planes were you flying?
They had B-17s. Basically, that was the 4-engine aircraft. Liberator had just about come out.
Okay. Did you like the B-17?
Oh yeah, it's a great plane.
What'd you like about it?
It was a big old devil, and it flew nicely, and I always felt safe in it.
What didn't you like about it?
Didn't call anything.
Okay. Did you get to fly in any of the Liberators?
Not very much, because I never got in contact with the Liberators until this mission that we were on.
Okay.
And they chose Liberators, the LB-40, that was the first B-7, the B-24 that was out. And they chose that for the flight that we were going to go over and take pictures of the Japanese held island.
Okay.
And in the Pacific.
Okay.
But
so you trained on B-17s. You got acquainted with them. Were you able to get enough flying time in them?
I had enough. I did enough to be a pilot.
Okay.
I was always a co-pilot.
Okay.
You need to put hours in to get that.
Okay.
I was about at that point when things were disrupted and we were moving out.
Do you remember where you were when Pearl Harbor, or you were at Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I was there.
Now, so the 88th Recon Squadron Heavy is stationed in Salt Lake?
It was, yes.
Okay. And you're basically there doing training?
Yeah.
What type of training, was it good training?
Oh yeah, it was good training. A lot of we practiced what we were supposed to do, which is bombing and reconnaissance.
What was your crew like?
We were all different crews. They hadn't been splitted out into crews
really?
at that time.
Oh.
There were crews. Usually, each aircraft was crewed by a enlisted man crew.
Okay. So you weren't really assigned to a particular crew at that point?
No.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, how long were you at Salt Lake? Do you remember approximately?
Yeah, I got there, I graduated from fine school in October, I think, of 1940. Yeah. And how long was I there?
Roughly? A few months?
I was in Salt Lake for about a year.
About a year?
Yeah.
Did you like it out in Salt Lake?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Nice. I love the country.
Mm-hmm. Now, when did you leave Salt Lake? Or why did you leave Salt Lake?
Why, to run this mission, we didn't know what the mission was, but it turned out eventually that we were to fly over Jaluit was the Pearl Harbor, Japanese Pearl Harbor at that time.
Oh, really?
And remember, before World War II broke out, or before Pearl Harbor, they lost track of Japanese carriers,
Mm-hmm.
so they're really looking for them.
Oh.
Didn't know where the hell they were. And that was one of the possible places. We were going to fly over this Jaluit. First, this was all connected with, they were moving our whole group to Clark Field in the Philippines.
Okay.
And on the way, they wanted 2 crews from our squadron, or from 2 crews from 7 to man the planes that were going to fly over Jaluit, and as I understand, the other one was going to go over the truck. But I don't know. I leave those out of it because they had nothing to do with my story.
Now so this was a highly sensitive mission. Very.
It was absolutely secret.
Okay.
Volunteer.
So you volunteered for this?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you volunteered for something?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So you really weren't told where you were going to go at the offset?
No, not until we got to Hawaii.
Okay. Okay. So you went over to Hawaii in a 17?
Well, we were given an LB, it was Liberator bomber.
Okay.
It was a plane that had been used for North Atlantic ferry runs for diplomatic missions back and forth. So it was camouflaged, and on each side were big American flags. They were sending us over Jaluit, Pearl Harbor, of the Japanese, like that. They also said you can fly over 30,000 feet, take a picture if you want. But as far as I can see, couldn't go over one of those islands out in the Pacific unless there were some clouds that would interfere with that sort of thing. So we would have had to get down to pretty close to shooting range, maybe a couple thousand feet.
Now, this would have been unescorted?
Oh yeah, no escort.
So you're in
We're
a...
just gonna boom over and keep going. Boom over, take our pictures and keep going.
Now, where were you supposed to land?
We were going to Midway, Guam, Jaluit, Port Moresby.
Okay. All right. Now...
And then from there we would proceed on up to the Philippines, Clark Field.
Okay. That was the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Okay. Now, this particular aircraft, this is the first time you'd flown in this airplane?
First time I'd flown in it, the pilot was had quite a few hours in it.
Okay.
He was a senior pilot. His name was Faulkner, got killed later in the war. Great guy. He was in our squadron at the time, and so he knew it. I never even landed the damn plane. Jesus, I mean, it was a foobar deal in the beginning.
You must have some sense of humor.
Yeah.
So you were a little, needless to say, you were a little concerned about this
I
operation.
wasn't concerned.
No?
I was too
You're
young.
too young. I love it. Now, the plane, it had a regular crew for this mission?
Well, they picked up, they made a crew up for it.
Okay. All right. It was, it had the regular armament?
Yeah. It had a little more range than a B-17.
Okay.
Maybe I said that before. That's why they put us up, you know.
Okay. Now,
It had no armament. I don't, ask him again about that.
did it have any armament in the plane?
Oh, yeah. In that plane it had armament.
Okay.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It didn't.
No, because I say they just
Less
had,
weight
It came to us the way that they wouldn't have had armor for
for the
diplomatic people, so no, it didn't.
Okay. It was probably also.
Any more than, like, remember if you read anything about Pearl Harbor, you realize that a bunch of American planes came in that day.
Right.
Half of those are from the 88th Reconnaissance Squadron in Albuquerque, and half from the 38th in Salt Lake City.
Oh.
And they were all going to the same place.
Now, you flew this plane out to Pearl Harbor.
That was the first stop.
That was your
First
first
regular
stop.
training.
Okay. And what was the briefing like? What did they tell you during the briefing?
They didn't tell us anything. And when our pilot, Captain Faulkner, went over and got his orders of what we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to fly Midway, Wake, Guam, and then over January and down to Port Moresby.
Okay.
And we were taking pictures on the way of January.
Okay. So you land. Do you remember when you landed at Pearl Harbor?
Yeah. We landed there on a Saturday morning. Friday or Saturday morning? Saturday morning.
Okay.
Friday morning.
Now there were going to be two
'Cause I
planes.
slept all day Saturday. And then, let's see, Friday, we slept all day Friday. And Saturday, looked around. And of course Sunday was December 7th.
Now, were there going to be two planes on this mission, or just the one?
Well, this is one.
Okay.
The other hadn't left the States. We weren't going to fly together.
Okay. Okay. What did you think of Hawaii on your Saturday off?
Well, I thought it was a busy place.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of air activity going on.
Mm-hmm.
It fitted right in with what came later. But, yeah, I was impressed.
Any sense of the state of preparedness there, or nothing seemed out of the ordinary?
Well, it seemed to me that they shouldn't have been grouping the planes as they did. There should have been more dispersal.
So the planes were pretty well tightly grouped?
No, yeah, they were on big aprons there. There's a row of big hangars,
Mm-hmm.
and then one side of the hangar was the taxi area, and along the taxi area they had all these 17s and 18s parked.
Mm-hmm.
The 18s had brought up, that was the two-engine.
Okay.
It was a military version of C-47.
Okay. Now,
The C-47 was the military version.
okay. Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning. I was up bright and early. I was down there with our navigator, Louis Mosner, and a couple other guys from the engineering officers there. We were gonna swing our compasses in the plane and sort of prepare it for our trip, later in the day. And you want to tell you about the way things...
Let's see, how did things unfold?
Well, I told you, they're pretty busy, and this is early in the morning. A lot of activity. And I heard a lot of noise coming. You know where where Hickam Field is. It's located right on there's a neck of land, of sort of water that narrows down from outside, and it's like a river going through there.
Okay.
But then it opens to a big wide expanse of the Naval, where they got all the battleships and stuff. And I remember sitting there. The Officers Club of Hickam Field was right on that point. You could look out, see all the traffic coming in and out, in and out. So could everyone else who wanted to. And I saw a carrier, it was Yorktown, one of the carriers going out, the first carrier I've ever seen. And boy, I thought that was beautiful. You know,
pretty big, wasn't it?
Big and that close, and all the personnel, the sailors standing there in their white uniforms, everything. But fortunately, they were going out and away from Pearl. So the compliment was they had two big carriers around there most of the time. Fortunately, it happened that they weren't there. Didn't matter about the battleships. I mean, you know, they weren't going to do much to further the cost of the war. They're too old and obsolete. But I'm beginning to hear this bang, bang, bang. I'd never heard a Don drop before, closely. But making a lot of noise over towards the harbor. And I couldn't see it from where I was. At this time we were down the hangar line, outside, standing outside of our plane. And I looked across, I happened to be glancing at the end of the airfield, and a loose formation of the planes was flying along. You know, I'm like, Jesus. And finally, boy, he's really alert here. All these planes flying around, ready. And then, first bomb dropped, not too far away. And made a hell of a noise, of course. Gee, someone's going to get court-martialed for this. I thought, one of these guys that dropped the bomb. Well, suddenly, you know, a couple more of those, and I probably got hit within the first 3-4 minutes of the attack.
Really?
Because they hit us. And they wanted to immobilize what aircraft were on the apron there. They told you all those planes are lined up. So they were strafing and bombing those, and then dropping bombs in the hangars. I was right outside of one of the hangars. And the bomb hit next to me, and I felt like I was in between two hangars. And felt like I swelled up and filled up that space. This is a concussion, you know. And I looked, see all right, looked at my leg, I realized that's it, gone.
You knew at that point?
Oh, sure. So my part in the war was pretty much over by about then and there. Without firing a shot.
What was going on around you at this point? Did it just...
At this time, now they're strafing,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see these guys right down at the level. Boy, you could see them clearly.
Really?
And by now I realize it's Japanese. And just a lot of noise, a lot of bombing, a lot of strafing, a lot of, of course, all this, and then all that stuff is going on over at Pearl.
Mm-hmm. Now, when did somebody find out that you were injured?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
I had a pretty severe scalp laceration,
Okay.
and I probably was in and out a little bit.
Okay. Where were you taken? Do you remember?
Yeah. When they picked me up finally, I was removed, fortunately, between the first and second attack, and it was Triplet General Hospital in Hawaii.
Okay.
Big general hospital.
Taken by ambulance?
Right?
Taken by ambulance?
I think I was in the back of the truck.
Using whatever they had.
Yeah.
The hospital wasn't under attack at all, was it?
No.
No.
You take the hospital.
Okay. So you remember going to the hospital, being...
The city was not very concentrated, but they had some bombs dropped on the
Mm-hmm.
downtown part of Honolulu.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it was all reserved for the Navy, actually.
Right.
They wanted to get those battleships and whatever else was in the harbor.
What was it like when you arrived at the hospital? Do you remember?
Sort of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that I woke up and I was in the bed. And nurse was pulling a sheet bag. And she looked at my legs. I can't. Oh boy, this is it.
It must have made you feel good.
Yeah.
And how was the medical treatment there?
Oh, it's fine.
When were you...
But they did what you call a guillotine operation. That was just chopping it off. And like they would do if you were out the battle line.
Mm-hmm.
And in other words, get rid of what they knew they had to get rid of. And then clean the whole thing up and close the wound later.
Do you think that approach was due to the fact that they had so many?
Oh, sure.
There wasn't any discussion of options?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No one came to me and said, "May we take your leg off?"
That's fair enough. So at that point you realized you were going to lose your leg?
Yes.
Okay. Well...
I remember waking up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was the next day or anyway, waking up in bed and wondering, I wonder if that thing is gone. I saw that it was gone.
Could you feel it?
Couldn't feel it.
What...
Oh, I was numb.
Okay. What was your reaction to this?
Well, I don't know what my reaction. I mean, what could you do? I'm like, pretty silly to lie there and think I'd like to do this and do that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to be able to do it.
Now, what... you've had the operation. Where did you go to convalesce?
They put us on a boat and took us to the States, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
I put us on Christmas Day and left Christmas Day. So
Okay.
I didn't, went to the States and Letterman General Hospital in San Francisco.
What was that like?
That was a great hospital.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the Presidio.
Oh.
And, it was an older establishment, but
Mm-hmm.
it was good.
What type of, did they give you, was there a regimen of therapy or?
What type of what?
Well, did they give you physical therapy or?
Well, they first went through they closed the wound,
Mm-hmm.
and things seemed to be progressing pretty well when, for some reason, the stitches gave up and inside,
Mm-hmm.
and I got this intense pain, and question of, well, they didn't want to cut the stitches open, so they just gave me more morphine, I guess.
Hmm.
I was pretty much out of it.
Okay. So how long did you convalesce? How long a period?
I was there 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did they fit you with a prosthesis at that point?
Yeah,
How did that work out?
not bad. First was below the knee.
Okay.
And then they had so during that 2-year period, they had a big deal in Syracuse, and the city paid for my way back there,
Oh, really?
and they had a sort of a victory parade. Poor Victor. And
So you were a local hero in Syracuse?
I wasn't here, no.
But the city paid your way to come back?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Big ticker parade.
Big parade.
What's that?
A large parade when you got back?
What's what?
You had a parade when you got back?
Party?
Parade.
Parade. Yeah, I guess they did.
Oh, just for you?
Oh, no. They had, didn't they have Wainwright back by then?
Yeah, I think so. But it was a
Skinny
big,
Wainwright.
big do.
Yeah, he had something to do with Casanova, no, not Casanova, Skinny Atlas. Anyway, he was back there, and several others.
Mm-hmm. Now, when were you discharged?
Well, I wasn't discharged. Let's see. I went back overseas, stayed in service, and did operational work
Okay.
at Camp Naval and Troll.
Oh, really?
But that was Troll after you did.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what, you were in the Pacific for a while then?
All of it, yeah.
Okay. So they put you back in operation?
Yeah. Not flying,
Not flying?
no.
Was that unusual?
I don't know. But I don't think, I mean, I don't blame him for not having me flying.
You requested, did you have the option of getting out of the service at that point?
Sure,
But you
anytime.
decided to go back in?
Yeah,
Why is that?
well, I don't know why, but I wasn't a regular Army officer, I was reserve.
Oh, you were reserve?
Yeah.
Okay. What rank were you at that point?
Air Force.
Were you a captain at that point?
Let's see. I was a first lieutenant.
What was living like in Tarawa?
Pretty good, tense. Not bad,
Fairly small island.
yeah. Oh, very small.
There wasn't really much left to it after the...
No, just a lot of graves.
Now that was a bomber field?
No, it was, what the hell were they? Well, they were just, those islands were used for stepping stones
Okay.
because they were doing a lot of evacuating the wounded by aircraft.
Okay.
And, that's what I did. You know, I handled crews as they came in and saw that they were taken care of. And, that the plane was properly serviced.
So how long did you stay in during the war?
I stayed in. Where did I get out?
45, we stayed in for him.
Okay. And where were you discharged?
Geez, I don't know. I've forgotten where I was. Do you remember that?
That's okay. So you got back stateside. What did you decide to do? Okay, excuse me, just say. You're fine. Whatever's comfortable for you. What did you decide to do once the war was over and you got home?
What was the first job I had?
You trained to be a metallurgist with crucible steel.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And how long were you? How long were you with them?
Geez, I can't remember. In terms of length of time?
Well, roughly. We're talking years or?
Maybe,
Oh, no.
maybe a year.
Okay.
And then they came to him to go into politics.
Oh.
And what?
Then you ran for office.
Oh, yeah, I was a county clerk in Onondaga County for 3 terms.
Okay, let's see. Onondaga County, you were a Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, sure.
I'm from Western New York also.
Anyway, 3 terms of that, but that was how I was able to go to law school. Law school was right across the street from the courthouse,
Oh.
where my office was.
Okay.
So it was builder and deal.
Mm-hmm.
I took about 5 years
Okay.
to complete the course. And then I took the bar exam, and they wouldn't let me take the bar exam. I mean, I applied for the bar exam with my class, and that was 45. They wouldn't let me take the bar because apparently there was, the law school was remiss, as was I, but there's a law that, or whatever it was, you complete a 3-year course of law, such they give at Syracuse University, you must do it in a minimum of 3 years, maybe 4 years. And I'd taken 5.5, whatever it was. So I didn't meet the qualifications. So, where was I? By that time, I didn't want to be a lawyer anyway, I guess. So it was disappointing. And
You did this on the GI Bill?
yeah, I did on the GI Bill.
Okay, at Syracuse.
Yes,
So you ended up not being a lawyer.
that's correct.
Well, he got his LLB, but
I got the degrees, but not, that did give you the license to practice law in New York
Okay.
State.
So what did you do instead?
Well, I reviewed my past history and I guess came to the conclusion that maybe I didn't want to be a lawyer. So I got, what was my first job?
Commercial real estate.
Yeah. Did you ever hear of Egan? You familiar with Syracuse?
A little bit. I'm from
Well-
Canandaigua.
Oh, are you? Egan Real Estate was a big commercial real estate firm in Syracuse. And I worked for them for a while. And then,
And then you went to Washington to see Truman in your underwear.
oh, well, that
Now there,
Yes,
that's
sir.
a story I haven't heard yet.
was a silly thing.
Well, that's okay. You went to Washington.
Well, they wanted, yeah, they corralled a bunch of disabled veterans and sent them down to show the president what they were doing. And, my reason for going down was to show them how they fitted me with an artificial limb and how I could walk and so forth. And these other guys, whatever they could do. I remember one of them had both arms gone, and he had artificial arms strapped on him, and there was. They said, now, Mr. President, this is Truman. And he's sitting at that desk in the Oval Office, and it's Mr. So-and-so, or Private so, whoever it was, I don't know, but he wants to show you how you can take these off and put them on again. And okay, great. He walks over to Truman's desk, and he goes, leans over and goes like that, and these arms came over his head, the whole paraphernalia, and plopped down on Truman's desk, and Truman almost fell off his chair. So that was that.
I want to hear about where's the underwear come into all this?
Well,
They were all in their underwear.
Oh,
you
really?
see,
Yeah.
showing their prostheses.
What was Truman like
well,
for a Democrat?
he was all right, but I remember looking at the guy and thinking, boy, the problem this poor person has, But he was all right.
Now, did you stay in the reserves?
Well, there was no question of staying. You just were in it. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't have to go and sign up or do anything.
Okay. So when the Korean War comes along, you
No,
weren't called
no,
on?
nope.
Now, after your stint in the real estate world, what?
After what?
After you were in the real estate world, working for was it Egan?
Yeah. We then, Betty and I went down to Cape Cod.
No, Snow, you were a prosthetist for years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got certified as a prosthetist, upper and lower extremity. And worked for Frisian Tie out of Syracuse. They had a Rochester office, I was in that. And, it was worked out pretty well.
How were the disabled veterans treated in your estimation?
Oh, I thought they treated well.
Had good luck with the VA?
Yeah. Those had good results for the VA.
And after you did that, what did you do?
Then we decided to go on a new career. And we went down to Cape Cod, Northeast End, and bought a house with a barn and ran a business from it. I'd always been interested in hunting and fishing, but hunting mainly. And we
No, we're here.
yeah, I know it, but I'm not there with you.
So you're in the hunting, fishing business?
Well, we opened a business called the Wildfowlers, and our merchandise was anything to do with hunting and fishing. Not, but maybe duck hunting, and but we had a lot of carvings of birds.
Oh.
Cape had a lot of carvers.
Decoys,
carvers.
that was it.
Right.
A decoy shop.
Oh, very nice.
And worked out very well. Made money, more money each year. We did that for about 6 years. And
Actually, we were there for about 12 years, and then we moved here.
So you've been a busy fellow.
yeah,
The loss of a leg didn't seem to slow you down very much.
well, no, it's not.
He was lucky because he was very athletic always, and so he was able to handle it well.
How would you summarize your military career? Besides short.
Yeah, a short military career.
Well,
Yeah, it was all right. I was sorry that I couldn't have kept on with the flying end of it.
have you ever gone back to any reunions?
No.
No. You kept up with any of your fellow crew members?
Not really.
Well, we'd like to thank you very much.
Yeah, I wish I could give you a better presentation.
You did a wonderful job.
I don't know about
Oh,
that.
I do. As I say, I've been through 160 some of these. It was a very good job, and it was very interesting. It's a perspective that we really haven't gotten before. And just talking about that mission was kind of interesting.
Yeah. Of course, that was all hush-hush and very secret at the time.
And just about Truman in the underwear, that right there,
Yeah.
that was worth the visit.
Yeah, that was quite a motley crew in there.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Now I got a little paperwork. Let me just...